First lesson. I think the first thing we need to discuss is basically the music alphabet. Well, the music alphabet starts on A and ends on G. So basically it would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it all starts from A again. Now, if you read on top of this page, it says the piano has got groups of 2 and 3 black notes. Just left of the 2 black notes, we find the note C. So there you'll see the group of 2, the group of 3, and just left of the group of 2, you find C. And then we just carry on with the alphabet. D, E, and F. No black note between E and F. G, A, B, C, and no black note between B and C. And remember that. Now, if we have to name the notes, the black notes, we basically get their names from the white notes next to them. So this black note here will have 2 names. It will either be called C sharp, and that sharp looks like a hash, but we call it sharp, and that one will be D flat. Alright, that little flat sign looks like a little B. Therefore, this would be D sharp, E flat, no black note, F sharp, G flat, G sharp, A flat, A sharp, B flat, B and C, no black note. Basically what we need to do is to take this information to the neck of the guitar. This is your thin string and this is your thick string here. We'll basically name the open strings E, A, D, G, B, E, and a very simple method to memorize that is the simple rhyme: eat a dinosaur. And everybody says G, or be eaten. So eat a dinosaur. G, or be eaten. Now, armed with this knowledge, basically we can go to the guitar and say, fine, if this is an E, what follows in the music alphabet is an F. But note that there's no black note between F on the piano. Therefore, there's no note between E and F on the guitar as well. So this is your low E string, the thick bass string. So then from F, we'll skip to the G because the triangle here represents a black note. And you'll find between F and G, there's a black note. That black note's either called F sharp or G flat. Therefore, if you read this, it says the triangle indicate the black notes on the guitar. Therefore, F sharp or G flat. But the idea is to just go and know where the white notes are. So E, F, skip 1 G, skip 1 A, skip 1 B, B and C next to each other, skip 1 D, skip 1 E, and therefore you'll find the triangles in between are those sharps or flats. So this is a C sharp or D flat. And what we basically do is the same with each string. So we go to the A, then we go B and C next to each other, skip 1, E and F next to each other, skip 1. So it's very simple. All you need to do is memorize that E and F and B and C are always next to each other. The rest always skip 1, and what's in between are the sharps or flats. So if I go from left to right, it's F sharp. From right to left, G flat, G sharp or A flat, A sharp or B flat. B sharp would not be a black note, but it would be C basically. So it's B and C are next to each other. Skip 1 D, skip 1 E, and so forth. Okay, now let's move to the actual neck of the guitar, left hand. If you're a left hand player, now watch this. Basically, the idea is not to have the palm of your hand against the neck of the guitar. This is incorrect. Look, the thumb over the neck. That's incorrect. There are techniques where we actually use this, but later. For now, what we want you to do is to try and keep your thumb right down the middle of the neck. So imagine there's like a rail there, and your thumb is sliding against up and down on that rail against the neck. And try to keep the palm of your hand away from the neck of the guitar. The principle here is basically the longer your fingers are, the stronger they are. A left hand fingering is very important. So what I'm going to do is explain to you the left hand numbers. So index finger number 1, middle finger number 2, ring finger number 3, pinky small finger number 4, and usually thumb is called TH. Now, if you look at this diagram here below, it says example of C major chord with left hand finger numbers indicated in circles. Now, basically, you'll find that this here is the nut of the guitar. This is a low string. This is the high, thin string. First finger goes there. Second finger, third finger. Cross means do not strum or play this particular string. So the next step is to basically start with the first 5 chords. First one called C major. Next one called A major, G major, E major, and then D major. Now feel free to stop the video or rewind it anytime and repeat anything as much as you want to. Now, first of all, what I suggest you do is to take 2 or 3 chords initially. Maybe start with the C and the A, and maybe if you're ready for that, go on to the G. You don't have to memorize or to work through all 5 at the same time. Now, first of all, what you need to do is make sure you place the correct fingers on the correct strings and within the correct spaces. Now, this is the first finger, your index finger on your left hand goes onto the second string next to the thin string, first space. Second finger, which is middle finger, goes into second space, fourth string. And third finger, which is your ring finger in your left hand, goes onto the string just next to the low E string. This is the low E string here. And then we don't strum this particular string here. Same here with the A shape. Now watch this, the A major. First finger, second finger, third finger, all in the second space. Those are open. We don't strum this one. The G might slightly be more of a stretch initially if you've never played a G chord before. So first finger, second finger, third finger, those are all open, so we strum all the strings. The E major, we strum all the strings as well. First finger, second finger, third finger. D major, we don't strum these 2 strings here, only the last 4. Our next step is to show you basically how to hold your plectrum. Now, if you look at this diagram here, you'll find that if this is the plectrum, imagine I'm holding a gun and this is my trigger finger. Now watch this section here of my finger and the plectrum is, if there's a middle line here between the in the middle of the plectrum, you'll find that that line is almost 90 degrees with that first section of my finger. And then I just basically place my thumb on top of that, and that's basically how you would hold your plectrum. Now, don't worry about initially, it might feel a bit uncomfortable, but we'll work on that throughout all these lessons. Now, for strumming reasons, or well, for strumming patterns, we'll basically show you or use arrows for down, strumming down, and arrow up for up. So down, up, down, up, down, up, like that. Okay, the next step would be to explain to you note values. Now, in music, we have pitch and we have time. Now this is going to relate to the time. The first note I'm going to teach you is called a whole note, and it's called a whole note, and it's worth 4 counts. Then the next note's called a half note, and it's worth 2 counts. The next note's called a quarter note, and it's worth 1 count. And this is how far we're going to go for the first lesson. So all you need to do is memorize whole note, that's the symbol for it, 4 counts. Half note, that's the symbol for it, 2 counts. Quarter note, 1 count, and that's the symbol for it. Thank you for joining me today with this lesson. I'm sure you enjoyed it. I would want you to contact me if you have any questions, so feel free to do that. All you need to do is practice this every day for about 10 to 15 minutes. And I also want to thank my 2 little dogs here in the background, barking and enjoying the lesson with us.